this is $100.
And in the next 48 hours, I'm going to be trying to flip this $100 to something a little bit much more bigger in the next 48 hours. Now let's be real, with $100 you can get yourself a new pair of shoes, go to a fancy restaurant, and even treat yourself to a luxury cinema experience.
But for me right now, this $100 is going to be like $1 and a dream. Let's see what we get out of it.
Now this challenge is not going to be easy because I'm really just trading within the last days of the year.
One thing about the last days of the year is it has lots and lots of consolidation.
Now consolidation is a point where there is no upward or downward movement in the market.
And trust me when I say this situation is actually traders hell.
And this is more reason why I'll need to practice so I don't get stuck at the wrong side of the market.
Now how I'm going to test my strategies by using Forex Tester online.
Yes, a platform that is dedicated to traders to help you construct a winning strategy in the market.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is that we're going to go ahead to create a strategy that we're going to be using,
because we really need to flip this $100 without blowing it. That's exactly why we're using Forex Tester online to come up with a good strategy. So yeah, let's begin. So firstly, I had to type in Forex Tester online on Google.
Tester online.
And this right here is exactly what you'll see. But no worries, I've already dropped the link in the description of this video.
So as you can see it right here, it says accurate backtesting for confident trading results.
And for the tools in here, I'll see that's an understatement.
So I'm just going to go ahead and log into my account, which is just tap into login.
Which you're greeted to this beautiful user interface that holds every project you're working on.
Now within the Forex Tester online, this is actually the part for your project. So one thing about Forex Tester is in any way that you want to trade with the market,
like for example this blind tester, which you can use to test your strategy without knowing the trading instrument, the price, or even the date.
So this is like a way for you to strictly test your strategy.
And there's also the trading sites where you can take a screenshot of your trade history and the FT will replay everything for you.
And also the replay feature on this one is exactly the same uniform as the way the market.
And also there's the prop firm challenge, which mimics prop firm rules. Like for example, if you have to make a profit target of 10%, you can create that exact scenario on Forex Tester online.
So let's just say before you buy that prop firm account, you can actually go into the prop challenge, get all the FAQs or all the trading rules within that prop firm, and then come to Forex Tester online, drop in those rules and conditions, and you basically test your strategy based on those rules.
Now not just that, they have different market scenarios. So if you want to test your strategy when the market is trending or in a consolidation, you can specifically do that. But anyways, I'm right here to flip $100, so let's create a project for that.
So right now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go ahead and create the strategy that we're gonna use to trade the market, right?
Now remember, we have numerous options we can use to test.
I'm gonna go over to the new project. That's creating a new project. Now we're gonna call this project flipping $100 because we want to.
And I filled in our project name, put in the deposit amount.
Now I'm gonna keep this as 1,000. I have my risk,
which I also had to set in the leverage for this test.
Then what commodity should I test it on? Let's use a commodity like, let's use gold.
One of the most precious metal on earth running on the charts.
XAU USD. So yeah, all of this is done, and let's create a project. So right here we have it here, test flipping $100,
which clicking into the project will bring you into the workspace.
Okay, so this is a test flipping $100.
But let me give you a tour of what Forex Tester online project workspace look like. Now to make it easy, the FTO workspace is divided into 4 parts. Now this first part is the charts, so this is where you get to do all of your testing and find out what works and what doesn't. While in the right hand side, this is where you actually get all your tools. The top part, this is where you can access all your time frames and also place a trade order. Again, this is as realistic as it gets, because you can place trade with lot sizes, put in your stop loss and your take profit while having the different market execution.
We're going to create this strategy, we're going to test it with the market to make sure that it's working.
So let's go ahead with that.
Now in my own way, or in the way I understand, there are 4 major things that make up a strategy,
which number 1 is the trend of the market. That is either the market move upward or downward, also support and resistance, as well as key level areas,
and last but not the least, market timing.
And it's all these things that actually make up a strategy.
Now for me, I'm an indicator type trader. I love trading with indicators,
so that's mostly what we're going to be doing here. And let's start with the first thing, trend.
Okay, now in Forex Tester online, you can simply go into this indicator section. It's just like they have the building block to what makes a strategy,
because each of these indicators are organized specifically for what you're looking for.
They've kind of simplified it that if you need an indicator for one particular thing, you actually have it. So for example, we're going to go over to trend,
and they arranged in a list of indicators that specifically shows you the trend. Now if you know me very well, there's one trend indicator that I love using: moving averages. Yes, one of the best indicators for finding trends.
Now, what's the moving average? The moving average is a line drawn to show you when the market is moving up or down. So let's go to indicators and let's add in the first.
So I went ahead to add in the moving average to the chart, which it obviously brings you to the settings.
Now if you look at something like this, it says period, H-shift, V-shift, MA type. What does period mean? Period means how many candlesticks that the market is going to look at for you to draw its average.
Let me break that down. Now you see the chart is actually made up of candlesticks, and what we try to do as a trader is find out where the price of this candlestick is heading to. And since the moving average is a trend indicator, it shows us the possible directions of the market.
Now how this works is whenever you see price above the moving average, you know the market is in an uptrend and you should buy, and whenever you see price below the moving average, it means the market is in a downtrend and you should sell.
But what's with the period whenever you set the moving averages? Now if you take your time to look at the right, you'll see a point where you can select different numbers.
By the way, the numbers that you see right there are not ordinary numbers.
Now whatever you impute here determines the amount of candlesticks that is going to be affected. So let's say you put in 9 as a number. The moving average will count 9 candlesticks and give you the average trend of that, searching for both buy and sell candles to see which one is more dominant.
But for me, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put it to be 15.
So with this, the market is only going to be counting 15 candlesticks.
Right, because I want the market to look at 15 candlesticks and give me the average trend of 15 candlesticks.
So I went ahead and placed in the EMA on my charts.
Now again, I'm going to add in another moving average again because I love to have 2 moving averages. What's better than 1, 2?
So at least I can get in a double confirmation.
So if in case one misses it, I can look at the other one easily. So I'm going to go into simple moving average, and what I'm going to change this to is I'll change this to the 30 SMA.
So this instead will be counting the average trend of 30 candlesticks.
I can come into this area with style. Because I have one that is red color, I wouldn't love to confuse myself. I'll just put this one to be blue just for differentiation.
Which I really had to say how I want my SMA line to be.
Then for the line, the width, there's the thickness, I'll keep it as this thick and I'll just hit apply.
And there we go, we've added everything we needed, which it's now time to go ahead and backtest everything. Now I'm only going to be backtesting 4 trades, and that will decide how prepared I am.
Okay, so right now let's go ahead and backtest our strategy.
Now the pair we're going to be backtesting on is on gold.
Now the way I want to test my strategy is basically in December period, just like a time like this, right?
Now for us to select that, we have to go to the section called go to. Now in the go to, you can go ahead and pick in whatever situation you want to be in a market, like for example what price you want to be at, the particular date you want to test your strategy, and even as the particular sessions.
Well, of course we're going to go for custom date because we're looking to trade within the December time, right?
So I went ahead to put in the custom date, which you obviously need to click the top menu right there, select the particular year you're looking at. And for me, I went for 2022, which I had to pick the month that best suits me, and also select a day to apply everything on. And yeah, that is it.
Now we're currently at the charts. Now before I continue, I want to tell you what the moving average is meant for, right?
Now if you look right here, there are 2 moving averages, and whenever price is above the moving average, it means that the market is in an uptrend, and also whenever you see price below the moving averages, the market is in a downtrend.
Now there are 3 major market movements, which is uptrend, downtrend, and consolidation, right?
Now this is important because the moving average is not a consolidation indicator.
You obviously need to be open to spotting out consolidations in the market.
So with that being said, let's begin.
Okay, now if you look right here, the market is above the moving average, telling us that the market is in an uptrend, right?
Now if you look right here, price went below the moving average at this point but went back up again.
When some things like this happen, I just have in mind that there's a little bit of indecision in the market. So I'll wait to see overall what does the market do. But first of all, let me go ahead and mark this point because this is an area.
Now why I'm marking this area is because price rejected at this point and there's another chance of market doing the same thing.
So let's play this through and let's see what happens next.
Now if you look right here, the market went above the moving averages and returned back, showing a clear sign of a consolidation. Anyways, I played it again to see what the market is really doing.
Okay, if you look right here, price has already broken this resistance level and we're not seeing that continuous sell, right? Now there's something I don't want to miss because This is a testing ground, right? There's something I don't want to miss,
and that is the different sessions in the market.
Me personally, I don't trade within Asian sessions.
So let's go ahead and add that to the chart. By just typing trading sessions, you'll get to see it.
Okay, so right here I have the sessions indicator,
and this definitely makes it much more easier to spot out what session we are
sessions
on.
indicator, it kind of makes it clear whenever the Asian session happens.
Now this is important because there's no much movement within the Asian session.
Now if you look right here, there's New York session, so I can sell this because the market is in a downtrend, price below the moving average, and market broke the support level, right? Meaning that the market is in a downtrend. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and place in a sell.
Now for you to do that, you need to click the toolbar right there. Obviously click the sell button and then go ahead to place in a new order to register in the trade. Now this is exactly like how you're placing a trade on MT5, but this time it will fill in the stop loss and the take profit. So yeah, let's see how this test trade goes. Now at this point there is like an Asian session trying to happen, so I decided to secure profit on this one, and again I took extra 3 trades which I lost 1 and 1 2.
Now just like I'm done right now, I can go ahead and check the analytics of the backtesting I've just done.
Now you have to click at the bottom right hand corner to get the analytics, and yeah, it will give you everything that you did right and what you also need to improve on, as well as it's telling me my strength and what I need to improve on, which it also gives me performance analysis on all my trades and also my activity calendar during the course of this backtest.
Okay, so now I'm done with backtesting my strategy. Now if you want to get this tool that I use for it, I've dropped the link in the description of this video so that you can go ahead and properly test your strategy before you actually get to start trading a profit account, or you're trying to deposit into your account to try to trade, just like I'm doing here. So click the link in the description of this video to start using Forex Tester online. First link in the description.
But now it's really time to flip this $100, which I had to deposit the $100 into my broker account.
Okay, so right now I've already got to my deposits. Now in case you're wondering the broker I'm using Vantage Market.
And at this point I was really just searching for a position to trade.
2 hours later.
Now at this point I found a position on USD card. By the way, this challenge is only for 48 hours, so we have to make use of every time that we have. Now by the way, this is exactly the position I was looking at on USD card. Now in this position I'm looking at a strong sell that is about to happen, but why sells? Now if you look right here, price is starting to go below the moving averages,
and whenever price is below the moving average, it's trying to tell you to sell the market,
especially with a key level right above price, which immediately I placed in my sells for USD card. At this point I had to place in my take profit and my stop loss. And at this point it's really all just to wait for the market.
A few moments later.
First trade and we're already making half of our deposit. For our first trade, we made $50 in profit, and within this time I found another trade on AUDUSD, and at this time I'm taking AUDUSD for a buy. Now the real question might be, why am I buying AUDUSD? Now first of all, there's a support level right here which have a very strong chance of the market going up, and again this is a consolidation.
24 hours later.
Now this particular trade, I've been holding it through the night, and looking at it this morning, we're able to close in on $200.